All right. Good evening, traders. Let's do an audio and visual check. How's everybody tonight? Going through, let everybody come in. We're going to have a special one, everybody. You guys could see the description on the YouTube. It says slow markets plus trading statistics. And I'll go through it. I have it up there for a reason. I feel like it's a really great thing to go over. Yeah, everyone's going to be joining. This is the very beginning of class. So you can hear me. Looks good. Sound checks. Thank you, Don Boo Rodriguez, everybody. All right. So as everybody's joining, I'm going to get some things set up on my end. Let's see. JM, welcome. Gold crushed. Gold dumping again. Gold dropped. All right. Yeah, well, what's the markets, okay? Hopefully we have a nice slow markets that we could relax. We could actually talk, and we don't get something that just is dramatic like we have been getting. So anyway, let's get to it. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I am Coach Dakota. Oh, whoop, that did not post. Nope, don't go that one. That's the wrong link. Oh man. Okay. Wrong link. Okay. Let's go there. So, okay, welcome everybody. I'm Coach Dakota. Welcome to Slow Markets. Now I posted the correct link on our YouTube chat to our Topstep risk disclosure. As always, we're going to be analyzing the live markets. We're going to be talking about the live markets. It's for educational purposes only. We all buy and sell at our own risk. Let's talk about it. I'm going to review the markets. I'm going to go pretty quick in reviewing the markets at the very beginning. And then we're going to start talking about some statistics, specifically my statistics, because guess what? We had the risk manager team once again talk about me. Brett, he's an amazing guy over there at the risk team. And yeah, he showed everybody my live statistics, which is great. And it's full transparency. You know, I had 179 a day was 100% correct for that period of time that he was showing. And I pulled all my statistics. I'm going to show you them. I'm also going to show you everything. But yeah, it's the truth, right? Like I said, I started trading these combines in, I think, the middle of January, February, and it's only middle of April. You know, I mean, April's almost over with already. Time goes by really freaking fast. But yeah, we'll go through them. He was showing everybody the live account statistics. I'm going to show everything. That's one thing about a sample size. It changes very fast. But let's start talking about the live markets. We're going to do our analysis. We're going to talk about the markets. And near the end, we're going to go through the statistics side and get some questions answered. Anyway, let's start off with the Nasdaq. And you can see behind me, I have the Nasdaq. And this is the daily chart. We've had this huge, massive sell-off. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. There's so much fear in the markets about inflation and, you know, zero rate cuts. Are we going to be pushing rate cuts out? Are there going to be rate hikes? What's going on? There's a lot of fear in the market that has happened pretty much last week and even starting last Friday starting on that Friday, and we just kind of just sold off, or we did sell off. This is a massive sell-off, right? And then, of course, all the world news and the war conflict and everything that's going on has led us to this sell-off. You know, sure enough, we have this huge level of support and resistance, this consolidation zone back at the beginning of January. That is where we started to bounce. I've been fortunate because I've been taking advantage of this bullish move, and I've been trading really good. Today it was another $10,000 day, and when we go through my statistics, I'll go through it, and we'll go through some of the trades as well. I mean, we had Tesla earnings come out, right? We had Tesla earnings come out tonight. Let's see. They had to have not been too bad. Tesla shares jump after Musk says company aims to start producing affordable new EV. So if they're talking about what Musk says, then the numbers were probably bad. So yeah, we're going to continue to have earnings this week. We have another key news data. I think it's Friday, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, so Friday we have core PCE. That's going to be another big one for this market. It's nice what the market could do when the Fed's not talking. It feels really good not to have to deal about Fed speakers and trading. And it's been really good trading for me, not needing to deal with that. Buy the dip, taking trades to the long side. And the market has been just in such better condition that we don't have to worry about all the drama with the Feds. So yeah, that's what I'm looking through. I'm just looking through the news. Friday is a big day. Thursday, we have some unemployment claims, of course. And you guys get to hear all that fun stuff from Eddie and the team during the TopstepTV day show. That being said, do we believe this market's going to continue to rally? I mean, it definitely could, right? So anything could happen. Look at these big runs when we have had these rallies. They've been huge, right? These have been really big runs when we have these rallies. So can we keep going? Yes, we could. Could we see 17,800? Maybe do we get back up into this level that we were down or that we broke through? Maybe. If we start to zoom in, let's zoom into a 60-minute chart. Yeah, there we go. So here's a 60-minute chart. And we can kind of see the breakdown, and we'll talk about some price action. This is something I was pointing out a little bit yesterday that I was looking at, and the markets move fast when they decide to move. We can consider this now that it's kind of happened, right? This is a key reversal pattern that we all like to look at, where some would call this maybe a shoulder, head, shoulder. We, was making lower lows, and then we stopped. We now made a higher low, and what do we say? No, this was a higher high. And sure enough, overnight, we made a higher low, and we're continuing to push, and it's just been going up and up from there. We broke through this key level. We broke through this key level, and we're heading up towards the next key level. And if we start looking to the left, there's some resistance definitely around this zone. Now, this is a zone. It's, support and resistance is not an exact number, and it's more of a zone. And so could we rally up into this zone? Yeah. I mean, we're already above 17,700s, and we could continue to push up. So until we get into this zone, I'm just going to be hands off. We've kind of rallied really hard, and I don't want to be buying right here, because why buy after we've rallied so hard and we're so close to this resistance? And I also don't want to be selling up here until we get to that area. And one thing that I will be looking at, I know it's only an hour and I don't have too much time to go over anything, is we're already up 1/3% on that Tesla earnings. One option that I am considering and that I'm looking at is maybe placing a sell limit up here, putting my stop loss a little bit higher. So sell limit, stop loss, and possibly a buy limit. And I know Topstep and the team likes me to talk about the prices. So maybe I do something like this. Maybe I put a sell limit at 17,741. My stop loss would be around 17,780s. Remember, this is just an example. So this would be my stop loss. And then maybe some take profits like this, right? So maybe something like this is what I'll set up tonight. Whereas if we do continue to rally between now and tomorrow and we get up into this zone, then I could enter into a short where I could limit my risk. I could have a relatively tight stop. For this example, it looks like I'll be risking 30 points to make, what is this, 50, quite a bit more. So over 100. So risk 30 to make 100. Maybe that would be a little more realistic. So this would be more of a 3 to 1 risk reward on something like this. And this is a trade where I will let run overnight. I'll turn my computer off, I'll go to bed, and sure enough, you guys see my trading style all the time. Yeah, OCO, to where this will only trigger in no matter what the market does. It'll only trigger in if it rallies up and it hits my entry, my sell limit, and then it will go up. It'll either stop me out for a loss, or then it will turn around and hit my stop loss. It's something I'm looking at. That's not my exact trade because this isn't a signals class, and I want to continue to make sure that's clear. But it's something I'm going to watch. I want to be a buyer of this market. I would much prefer us to sell off, find some type of support around maybe the 600 level, because there was some resistance and support there during the New York session, and then find opportunities to buy the market, because I want to be buying the market because we are trending up and to the right. The longer term trend since October is bullish. We had a lot of sell-off pressure, and I'm looking at this not as a pullback in a downtrend. So I'm not looking at this as a pullback in a downtrend. I'm looking at this as a continuation and a move that goes with the overall trend since October. And we are making higher lows, and we just broke, and this can be a sign that we can continue to push higher. So that's what I'm going to look at. Of course, that I'm going to be doing this, and I talk about it every single night, and I pretty much do my analysis fresh every single night, and look at it with a fresh set of eyes. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's take a look at gold. Since everybody was talking about gold, we'll do gold, and then we'll jump over to crude oil and Nikkei, and then maybe answer a few questions along the way, and then we'll start talking about the statistics, because like you guys see in the YouTube description, it says slow markets plus trading statistics. I want to go over my statistics to make sure it's very clear to everybody, and comparing apples to apples, because that's what we want to do. We're not comparing apples to oranges. We need to make sure that we are comparing everything correctly on what I am wanting to do, what I'm showing, and hopefully understanding my trading style for slow markets, and just overall how I got to number one, right? Because that's what everyone... You'd be surprised how many freaking direct messages I get of, hey, Coach Dakota, do you do one-on-one? How did you get there? What's your trading? This. And I'm trying to show that to everybody. Even though I am limited to 1 hour every single night, that's what I'm trying to show. I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. I'm trying to do this live in front of you, talking about my trades, talking about my trading concepts, showing you my statistics, showing you the good. And last week, I was showing you the freaking bad. This week, it's been pretty good. So here is the hourly chart here on gold. This is gold. And the way that I'm looking at this is I'm actually pretty bearish gold, to be honest, guys. If we look at the 60-minute, and it's purely off of a technical standpoint, is we've had such a sell-off, and we've rallied right back up. And guess what? To me, I'm looking at this as a major support level. And guess what happens? Support becomes resistance. So I'm actually kind of looking at gold as this zone to become resistance. I'm a little bit late to this trade. If I was trading it during the New York session, maybe there was some opportunities to get short as we've rallied up and got back into this 2340s. If there's another setup, maybe some technical pattern, to look for a trade to the downside to see if this is really going to become support and resistance. I've only been trading gold for a month now, and I'm not really in tune with gold very much because I haven't been trading as often as I trade the Nasdaq. So I'm going to be looking for another continuation down, maybe a test of that nice psychological level of $2,300. If we look at the daily, let's take a look. Yeah, the daily, it was just kind of wow, it got hammered. Yeah, I definitely could see 2,300 if we do have a continuation. And if we zoom, it's it's very hard to see the daily on gold. I like the 60-minute chart on gold a lot better anyway. From a pure technical standpoint, I do believe that this was resistance, or this was support. I mean, it's a huge support zone, right? Like, that's a big support zone. And if support becomes resistance and we do continue down, I will look for a break to around 2300, maybe 2290s, because we do have some support around 2290s. I'm not sure. I'm going to watch it. Like I said, I don't have a trade set up on gold. I haven't been trading gold very often, but when I do, I'll let you guys know. I'm slowly starting to ease into gold. Still don't have 100% confidence in it as well. Okay, let's get to some more questions, and then we'll talk about crude oil and then the Japanese market, Nikkei. I'll finish off with Nikkei. Ooh, crude oil. That was looking tempting for a moment to just place a short. Nicholas, what are your total payouts of all time? Well, like the description says here in YouTube, trading statistics. I'm going to be going over my payouts and my trading statistics at the end of this session. I've only taken one payout. Like I said, I've been trading with Topstep. I started trading these accounts with Topstep in January. And I haven't really been taking a payout. I probably should, because everyone's telling me, but it's less about the payout and more about teaching and showing traders how to scale an account. And to me, I can't really show how to scale an account until I get it to the account scaling size, and then I can start talking about payouts. That's later down the road. I've only been trading for, what is this now in this account, like 3-4 months, and to me 4 months is not enough statistics to justify a proven track record to kind of like show how it's done, right? And then to scale an account. I mean, if I could do it a day, if going by that logic, I mean, can I really show how to grow an account and scale it in a month? No. You need a big sample size, and we'll go through it. We'll go through it later on in this class. Do you trade with anyone else? Rodriguez asks. Me, myself, and I do trade with Rips every once in a while, and I will trade with the Topstep team. But if it's purely me, no, it's just me. It's just me that I trade with when I'm trading by my own personal accounts. But I do have a lot of trading buddies. So yeah, me, Rips, and then whenever I'm on TopstepTV. Let's see. You don't use any kind of an indicator. The trade is based only on price action. Yes. If you could go through and watch my slow markets, I mean, there's a lot of slow markets class because I've been doing this Monday through Thursday, every single day pretty much, Monday through Thursday, and it's the same thing every single night. I tell traders all the time, trading is very boring. If done the right way, it's very consistent. It's very boring. It's the same thing, just like any other job pretty much, right? Like whether you're a construction worker, whether you are name a job, and if they do that job good, they do it the same thing over and over and over again, right? Like if you're building a house, you build that house. It's the same dang thing over again. It's not very exciting. Being your own trading buddy is true self-love. Me and Rips and I. And then I do have some trading friends that I'll talk, but we don't really share trading ideas because we know we follow our own strategy, and it's never like, hey, did you place this trade? Did you do this? Did you do that? No, it's more like, hey, how is this political news treating your trading? And I'm like, you know what? These interest rates have did this. It's weird. We don't really talk trading. When I am talking about with my trading buddies, it's less about talking about trading and more about just how things are going. Not very exciting. Gold catching a bid. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I talked about gold. I'll review this maybe again at the end of the class if gold keeps moving. But let's talk about crude oil. Crude oil gave an amazing setup again today, I did not take it. If anybody knows, I was actually bought right here yesterday and caught a piece of this rally. I actually caught this from here to here. It kind of set itself up again today, and I was not watching it. I watched it for a minute. I was looking for oil to sell off a little bit lower and then rally. So I missed out on this oil trade. I was wanting it to push this low and then bounce, like kind of run some stops, find liquidity, and then bounce. I missed it. That would have been an amazing trade though. Unfortunately, I did. And so the way I'm looking at it now is, there was a trade setup that I think I might have just missed this trade setup. It was looking for, and the trade setup I was looking at was maybe a short here, stop loss there, and take profits maybe here. So something like this, because what I'm looking at is I'm looking for a pullback, to be honest, here in crude oil. Kind of what we've seen today. Oil's been chopping around. I still think we can continue to push higher in crude oil. We've been in this range for the past few weeks. I mean, we did sell off and we did break down below, just like all these other markets. I think we could get maybe a pullback and then a continuation is what I would look for. Very similar to what happened to the Nasdaq, right? We had this huge rally, we get a pullback, and then we get a continuation. I don't want to short it because I'm a little late to the party trying to take a short because we're looking at risk rewards, right? I don't want to short this. The risk reward trade was up here, shorting here, having a small risk reward or small risk for the reward that we would be taking. This is an hourly chart too as well. So that was the trade. I missed it. So what I'm going to be doing is looking for something like on the opposite, right? Where I would be looking to buy it if we do sell off down into this level. And then I'll be looking for a risk reward, maybe something like this, where this would be my entry, my stop loss would be down here. And then I'm looking for some targets to the long. I'll continue to watch crude, but I don't see anything too attractive to me. I'm just looking for opportunities to buy crude oil. I'm not looking for the short side. I'm just looking for opportunities to buy in crude. All right, let's see. Let's get to some more questions, and then we'll finish it off with the Nikkei, and then we'll jump into the statistics. We have 6 minutes till I pull up. I have all my statistics for my combines, or my express funded accounts, and my live account that I will be talking about. And then we'll get to some questions. Oh, let's see. I'm missing some because we have some amazing moderator team here, and they are also feeding me some questions. Were you really at the dentist when you called that NQ long? Yes, I was on my way to the dentist. If you guys are in my slow markets class, you know how I trade sometimes. I'll be watching the markets and I'll pull it up. Let's see. I'll pull it up like this, right? So I'll pull it up on my phone and I'll be watching the markets. So as I was walking outside, I actually placed a trade along the Nasdaq, and yeah, let's just pull it up because that got a lot of attention today, huh? That did. So here was that trade. I think it was, man, where was it? It was this morning. I think it was right here. Yes, this is where it was. So this is a 5-minute chart, and everybody knows when I trade the New York session, I trade on the 5-minute and a 100-tick chart. So the New York session opened. We had a huge, massive rally. And my dentist appointment was at 8 a.m. And you can see this was my dentist appointment at 8 a.m., right? So that's what I was doing. Right before there, let me zoom in. You can't really see it on this because it's a 5-minute chart. If we zoom into a 1-minute chart, you could probably see it a lot clearer. Let's see. Where are we at? There we go. Yeah, this setup was better on the 1-minute chart. So this was the trade that I was looking at, and maybe, yeah, I'll see. Okay, so we had the news. We rallied up. inflation came in, what was it, lighter than expected, whatever it was, and we immediately sold off. And I put a trade in here. I got long 3 contracts on the Nasdaq in my live account. I got in at, oh my gosh, did I really get in at that good? So I actually added and I built a position. So anyway, let me summarize it. I got in 3 contracts at 470. I don't think it was 4. Yeah, it was 470. So I got in 3 contracts at 470. So 3 contracts, 470 right here. And then I got into 3 more contracts at 59. So, so it was 3 contracts here. And then I got in 3 more contracts here. And as soon as we started to bounce, I had my initial stop loss down here, but then I started to trail it, and my average price, this was my average price. Sorry, guys, let me see if I could pull up my live account. Let's see if it'll take a minute, but that's okay. It's a lot easier when I could just pull up the account and show it. Yeah, well, the thing is, I do my analysis on a coach's account, so I could just place things and I'm not scared of messing up. And if I was to switch to my live account, it takes a minute to pull up the account and the entries and all that. So give it a minute. It'll show. It takes. But Dakota, what are your thoughts on YM? Right quick, please. I haven't traded YM for a long time, Isaac, so I cannot say anything on that. So let's. Okay, here's my live account. Let's switch to that. Let's go to a one. Okay, we're going to zoom in. We're zooming all the way in if we can. There is the Nasdaq. It's taking a minute to load. Dakota, what is the reason you decided to go long at that time? I'll show you. I will show you why I went long because you guys want to know. So I'll talk about it. This was the trade. I got out early, though, guys. This was one. I was at the dentist, and I'm perfectly fine with admitting I got out early. So let's see. Why is it not showing? It might not show because I used my phone. Well, it's not showing. You guys are just going to have to trust me. Yeah, let me see. That's interesting. Give me a second. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure it will show you guys. Let's go to new trade performance. Give me a second. Because everybody wants to know this, right? Trades. Okay. You guys wanted to know. Here we are. Let's go to properties. This is the live account. I'm not sure why it's not showing. Let's go to display grid font. Make sure you guys could see it. Okay, where's the dates? We got to figure out what's the date today? Today is the 23rd. It's not showing on here. Probably maybe because I didn't place this trade on this platform and it was on my phone. I'll figure out how to pull it up. Anyway, so you guys are just going to have to trust me and bear with it. Anyway, I got in 3 contracts long here on this pullback. Now remember, I'm watching this is a 100 tick chart. 100 tick chart. I got in 3 contracts long at 70. And the reason why I did was because we have some support on this. And we continued to sell off. And then I added to this position when we started to break out. It was at 460. When I started to see that there was some support here. So this is what I was looking at. Let me show you guys again. This is what I was looking at. We opened up. This is the New York session on the 100 tick chart. And so you can imagine this was going really, really fast. And this was the support and resistance I was looking at because there was news. Okay, there was news that happened You know, right at 15 minutes after the open, we rallied up. We immediately sold off. I went in, I got 3 contracts here. I got into another 3 contracts somewhere right here. And I ended up closing early. I closed them at like 17,500. I closed them early. And that was really where I made most of my money, was off of this trade. I was simply looking at this. I heard the news. I was actually listening to TopstepTV, and I heard them say on TopstepTV, and that helped me become like, okay, that I'm really confident. And also, not only is that, we also had the pivot when we first opened. This is the New York session, and we opened, and this was a lot of resistance. When we broke out of this resistance, it's showing that. So I hope that made sense. I don't know why it's not showing, because I pull up on Rhythmic. I don't want to go through all of it. I don't want to waste, because like I said, I only have 60 minutes, and I got to make use. Let's see if I can, because it's showing this. It's showing this one, but it's not showing any trades from now. Let me go like this. Let's go data series. I'll figure it out, guys. Maybe tomorrow we could go through that trade, because it's showing some of my trades from the 21st, but nothing from today. Let's go. I'm going to try one more thing, and then we'll move on. Yeah, I placed it from my phone, Austin. Yeah. It usually would show as an external. I'm going to try one more thing, and if not, we're going to move on to the next. We'll move on to next. Nope, it's just not working. That's what I get for placing it on my phone. It doesn't save on this platform all the time. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Get out of this one and back to my account, and then we'll start going over the statistics and answering some of your guys' questions. Let's go here and move on to the Nikkei. So we'll talk about the Nikkei and then move on to my statistics and get to some more questions. Anyway, so here's the Nikkei. This is the Japanese market, and everybody knows that I like to trade the Nikkei. It's been good to me. Last night, guess what? I was trying to buy the Nikkei. You guys remember that? I was buying on this sell-off, and I got stopped out. And sure enough, we consolidated. Man, how horrible was that? You guys watched me got stopped out, right? You guys watched me get stopped out on this Nikkei trade, and sure enough, we rallied since that. That was unfortunate. Like I said, I don't win every single trade, unfortunately. So very similar to the Nasdaq and the other markets. If we start to zoom out and see from maybe a bigger perspective, we started to break a lot of downside pressure, and sure enough, this was a downtrend line that I was looking at. We broke out, and that bullish trend I had, maybe I just didn't draw it correctly. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the recording. But for some reason, I was looking to buy it up here, and it just stopped me out. It just stopped me out. And this is the thing about technical analysis, guys. It's not always perfect. There are always zones. So regardless of how good you think you are on drawing technical analysis or understanding trend lines or support and resistance, it's zones, and it's never perfect. And here's a good example why. I was wrong. Wherever I had my line drawn last night, I think it was like this, I got stopped out. And I was looking at this, and I bought right here in front of you guys. And sure enough, we sold off down, and maybe somebody smarter or more looking for like this, maybe they had their line like this and they caught it. I'm not sure. That's the thing about technical analysis. It's not perfect. You just want to be consistent. It's more important to be consistent than to be perfect. And I got stopped out, and sure enough, tonight we are starting to rally really hard throughout the day during the New York session. That would have been a really great trade. That's the reality. And You know, the way I'm looking at this now is very much like I was looking at the Nasdaq. Is that was quite the big rally over the past 1 hour here on Nikkei. I'm going to look for a pullback, and I'm going to do the same thing I was doing last night. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a pullback. I'm going to try and practice patience, and then I'm going to look for opportunities to buy. So copy paste, it's trading, just like I was saying it to start the night. That's the reality of trading. We're looking to be consistent, and just like last night, I'm going to wait, I'm going to practice, I'm going to find an opportunity to buy the dip and try and position myself to get into a long to see if we can continue to push higher in this market. And where could this pullback be? I don't know. I just don't want to be buying after we've rallied so hard. And so essentially, I think after all that and after everything tonight, guys, I have not placed any trades, and nothing is looking very attractive to me. Other than maybe a Nasdaq short on a higher time frame, just because if we do rally up, maybe I could take a really cheap trade, as Hoag says, as in maybe a sell limit up here on the Nasdaq. That's the only thing I'm really seeing tonight. Other than, I mean, maybe that gold short was playing off pretty good if I would have shorted gold at that resistance. Gold's kind of being volatile. But, all right, I think that's where I'm going to leave my trading analysis. Let's get into it. Let's get to a couple questions, and I'm going to start talking statistics, guys, because this is kind of behind the scenes. This is something that I do, and I look at. I usually only do it monthly, but because of everybody, I guess it's being the talk of the town or whatever you want to call it. Everyone talking about, Coach Dakota, is it live? Are you trading XFAs? Why is your daily P&L only 178? Like what's going on? I figured I could go through it, and I got everything. I had a conversation with Brett after all that happened. And yeah, to show you the reality of trading and realistic and being realistic. So let's go through that. And as I go through here, feel free to ask any questions, guys. Feel free to ask any questions you have. While you do that, I want to check something. So type in your question there. I'm checking something. I'm going to check Rhythmic. Let's see here. I don't want to show that. Login. Do you consider the DOM when trading the Nikkei? I looked at the DOM when I was trading Nikkei, and it wasn't, I didn't really get it too useful. So let's take a look here. Yeah, I'm logging in now. So I'm checking Rhythmic because I want to show that order and all that information. Did you get Eddie's bong? I mean, I've been waking up early and I need more sleep. I'm still getting killed by allergies, to be honest, guys. Let's go ahead and go Rhythmic. Give me a second. I'm getting this pulled up because I want to go through and show this to everybody, because you guys deserve to see it. And I hate not answering questions. And to be honest, some of the stuff that we talk about. Yeah, I'm trying to log into my Rhythmic Trader Pro. That's what I'm logging into, and I don't want to show you guys my password. I'm not showing you guys my password. Yeah, it's allergy season. It sucks. I'm over here, and allergies they're the worst on me. Give me a second. I'm doing this, and I'll continue to answer questions. What plan would you have for a 50K combine? Stop loss and take profit. It really depends. That is a very general question. How liquid is the Nikkei on a live account? Do you always get filled if you want? No. The Nikkei is not very liquid on a live account. You do not always get filled. I always use limit orders. And you guys, like I said, if you join me in slow markets, I go through all this stuff. I talk about it. You guys get to see me. I showed you a live trade on the Nikkei, and what that looked like. And it was hard to get filled because sometimes that's how it is. You do not always get filled. And that's really the only major difference is the fills between live and simulated accounts. And I say it's not only, I mean, it's a major difference. Give me a second. Like I said, this is a very informal class, and you guys get raw Dakota. Let's see if this will log me in. Here we go. Not very often do I get the password on the first try. Don't you love it when you could get a password on the first try? Usually it takes me like 10 times. Okay, here we go. So let's see how this looks, guys. We're going to go through this together. I've never seen this before, but you guys are going to see this. You can't really zoom in. Maybe for everybody who's old and has bad eyesight, I'm sorry. That is it. So I think here were the buys. So 473 is where I got filled at on the live account. 467, and I sold them off. 1 and then 1. Yeah, so whatever that's worth, that was my trading today. Feel free to just review that at your own. I don't want to review it. I don't have enough time to review this, but this was my live account today. Yeah, there you go. Now let's look at the statistics side. You guys can see where I got filled. I don't know why it didn't show on NinjaTrader. It's because I was taking them off my phone, and there's a lot less that goes on behind on my phone than anything else. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I think that's as good as it gets. So here are the statistics. Let's go over the statistics in a little bit more in depth because I did talk to Brett and he sent me everything. We're going to talk about average P&L. We're going to talk about all of the fun stuff, to be honest, and the stuff that you guys are probably more interested in than actually trading sometimes because it's slow markets. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a lot better, and I could even zoom in more. Let's zoom in, and we could see this. You guys could see it. We'll talk about statistics, and we will go through this. So everybody knows the story. Let's start and let's make sure we get perspective. We could add context of how this goes. I'm a coach. I'm a coach here at Topstep. I've been coaching at Topstep since like August, October, and starting in January. Let's see. Let's go back. Starting in January, you could see January 24th of 2020 this year, right? January 24th. Actually, a little bit before that. I think it was more of like January 20th. I started trading on some combines because I wanted to show traders that, I'm a coach, yes, but not only can I coach, I want to show by doing this. I might not be the best teacher, but I can show traders what real traders, do, whether this is going to be really bad and ugly and blow up in my face, or it's going to be really good. And I was having this conversation with some of the other coaches, especially Coach Jay. We were talking about this, and he's like, do we really want to try and do this in front of the traders? Because we're coaches, we have a good, we have a good thing going. We're helping traders. We're helping everybody at Topstep, and it's good. Everything's going good. And we were talking about it. I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. We'll start in combines, and we'll go through the trenches like everybody else. We will start trading in combines, and then if we trade good in combines, we will transition into express funded accounts, and we'll continue to go through that. So we started, Coach Jay and I, we went through that process, and we're like, but there's no reward, right? Like, it's so much risk and very little reward, because if we can't do it, or if we just blow up in front of everybody, then it's not going to look good, right? I'm like, well, you know what? If we blow up, we just show everybody we blow up, and it happens, and we try it again. And so essentially, I went through it. I passed the combines, and this is my first Express funded account. So Express funded accounts. And this was being copy traded. So everything you see here was copied between three 150K accounts. Okay, so three 150K Express funded accounts starting on January 2024. And I started trading it. You guys could see I hit my daily loss limits, and my winners, of course, far outweighed. My average daily P&L was $2,280, or pretty much $90. Okay, times 3, because this was copied amongst 3 XFAs. Okay, so my average P&L for this was 2289 times 3. So my average P&L while I was trading these combines, if we combine the 3, if you copy trade, was $6,867. And I traded that. I grew this account to $20,600 times 3, so about $61,000. And sure enough, I got this moved to a live account. That happened live in front of everybody on Topstep TV and throughout, and it's all documented here on the YouTube. And so that being said, I did that. I started trading a live $61,000 account, and sure enough, I made it to the top leaderboard. I was number 1 for like a week, and then I started to have a drawdown. And while I was in that drawdown, I started 3 more Express funded accounts. And I said, okay, I'm struggling in my life. I'm having a drawdown. I went from 61,000. I was down to like 50,000. I did take a $3,400 payout. So I'm like, okay, I'll take the $3,400 I just made in this payout, and I'll just go through 3 more XFAs and just do it again. And so I started these in March 18th. So between when I got my live to March 18th, I was trading this times 3. And my average daily P&L was $1,400 times 3, which of course is 1,417 times 3. So my average daily P&L was $1,400, right? And so I'm like, and then I got these transferred to my live account. And ever since then, I'm like, okay, well, it's easy to trade Express funded accounts, copy trading, but now let me show traders how to do it in a live account. So here is the live account that all my Express funded accounts have been transferred to. It's a single account. It's a single live account with a single account balance. And so I'm like, well, it's very hard to trade a live account and trade it like you're trading and going for that same amount of P&L. Because guess what? I'm copy trading between 3 accounts. If I make 1,000, I'm actually making 3,000. So let me show that I could do it in a live account. And that's a lot more difficult, right? So I talked to Mick, and I'm like, let's open my daily loss limit to 9,000 and my contracts to 45,000. Well, I actually don't trade that big, so we don't have to go 45,000. Let's just do 30,000. So my live account is a 9,000 daily loss limit. So very much like I'm trading across 3 XFAs. So 3 XFAs times 3 is 9,000. And then I never get too big of a position size. Very rarely will I get over 10 contracts. Usually it's between 3 and 6. So I'm going to try and do it. I want to try and do it in front of everybody live. And you guys can see the statistics. This week, I'm up $21,000. And let's go through these statistics, because this is what the raw data is. And guess what? This yesterday so today I made $10,330. You'll see that tomorrow on Topstep TV. I made $10,330 today. And that changed my statistics, because guess what? I only have 49 days in this account, and a single day can move the statistics dramatically, right? If you have one day, you make $100, your average daily is $100. And as you guys could see on, let me pull it up here, because I have the screenshot from Brett. He sent me it because I'm like, hey, can you send me this screenshot? And then here's the screenshot from him. Like, show me what the statistics look like, and let's zoom in and I could show you. So that was my average P&L when you guys seen on Shoulder Tap. My average P&L in my live account was only $179 a day. However, after today, it's doubled, right? And so that's how volatile it can. And I could move it. Yep. Let's see. There we go. It's in the way, right? Is that what's going on? So I'll move it up a little bit higher. So yeah, my average daily P&L, it was 179. It's now 386 because trading does not go in a straight line. It's not a perfect equity curve where it goes from, point A to point B and it goes up and to the right. You've seen last week I had a really ugly week. Let's go through my April. Loss when I take losing days. I got my account, opened it up, and I started taking bigger trades. You can see when I open up my daily loss limit, trading like it's a 3 XFA account, but on 1 live account. And last week was ugly. Mick called me out. Markets were selling off, and then this week I'm already starting out in a really good spot. But we have the down days, we have the really ugly days, we have the really good days, and your average P&L when you don't have a lot of statistics will fluctuate dramatically. Hopefully in, say, 6 months from now, a single day will not make that much of a difference. So today, yes, a day like today doubled my average P&L. In 6 months from now, a day like today maybe moves it $20. Like that's the reality. Yeah, look, I had a 3-day losing streak, minus 30,000. I'm on a 2-day winning streak, plus 20,000. That's the reality of when you're scaling an account. You don't have to worry about copy trading amongst multiple accounts. You could just do it on 1 account, right? Because if I'm copy trading 3 accounts, if I hit daily loss limit, that's 9,000 I lost. If I do that now, if I hit my daily loss limit, that's 9,000. It's the same. It's very basic math. You're trying to scale an account, but instead of doing it amongst 3 times, you're doing it all in 1 account. And this is more realistic trading than what you guys typically see and get advertised, because try to go to your broker and ask them, can I open up multiple accounts and copy trade? I mean, that's not realistic, because I trade my own live accounts and it's 1 account. I have an options account, I have a futures account, and I have a longer term account where I just have buy and hold, where I sell covered calls or covered puts. And yeah, you don't go to your broker and say, can I open up 5 accounts? Here's $100,000. I want 3 $30,000 accounts. And I want to copy trade them. They're like, what the heck? Why don't you just put it all in 1 account and just trade it, like that? It just doesn't make sense, right? And some say risk management. Oh, you're spreading the risk. No, you're doing the same thing. If you hit your daily loss limit in 3 accounts, it's still 9,000. If you open up your single account to 9,000 daily loss limit, 9,000 is 9,000, no matter which way you chop it up. So there's my statistics. That hopefully that explains it a little bit better. That was kind of a little bit long-winded, and that's kind of just in time now. We have 5 minutes left. What questions do you guys have? Throughout the next X amount of time, I'm going to continue to hopefully show you guys. We could talk about it. It's going to be one of those things where I can, teach, ask questions, show you real trading, where that's the reality of trading, these ups and downs. And yeah, when you lose, for example, like these 3 days, these days were hard. It's embarrassing when you trade in front of thousands of traders and you lose $30,000, and then, you have the risk manager, tearing you apart on roast me, right? That's difficult. But yeah, here I am. I'm back at pretty much the high water mark, and just like nothing happened, right? So you're not really trading yourself out of the hole. It's very difficult. And yeah, that's interesting. 40 contracts one day, 40 contracts another. I mean, that's pretty copy-paste days. That's interesting. I've been in 2 good winning days. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to some questions. We have 5 minutes, and we'll finish it up. Dakota, question, would you recommend Nikkei or ES for a new trader? If you're a new trader and you had to choose between the Nikkei and ES, I would go with ES. I will not recommend Nikkei for new traders. Ooh, that's ugly. There's all my trading. See how ugly that looks? Alejandro, Dakota, you only trade during overnight hours. No, I do prefer trading slow markets like you see me tonight, but then I also trade the New York session. Do you have a methodology for determining market state in the morning? Any trade filters that will stop you from trading? Nicholas, I use price action. Usually I'm like, is there any big major news events? If there's news events, I don't really like to trade until after they come out. And other than that, it's very basic price action, which keeps it, the more simple I can make my trading, the easier it is for me to trade and manage my risk. Gio, what do you recommend to trade with a 50K? I will 100% recommend trading micros with a 50K account. Dakota, you had one 11,500 loss. Was that 2,500 slippage? Yes. Fade my trade. I had one day where it showed 11,500, and that was, if you guys believe that or not, $2,500 worth of slippage. Yeah. Welcome to live trading. When you have a big position and you go to liquidate it, it gives you the next best price. And if you're trading something that is moving fast, that's slippage, baby. You don't get any sim fills in a live account. Now you tell me that you can handle $2,500 worth of slippage, and that's the difference between sim and live. Yeah. I wish it would just lock me out and say, hey, 9,000, not a penny more. No, that's not the reality. Could you imagine trying to get out of a trade when you were on the pits, and nobody will take the other side, and you'll have huge slippage? Yeah, it was on Nikkei, and you guys know how thin the order books are on Nikkei, and it's $25 a tick. And when you're in I think I was in, on that one I was in, I think 15 contracts. 15 contracts on Nikkei at $25 a tick, and you get slippage. That is huge, guys. Yep. That's why I like limit orders. Limit orders for me is a lifesaver. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Yeah, slippage is a nightmare. Sarah, for some reason, won't let me join. Yikes. When will Topstep X become available for everyone, or will it always be limited? So here's my understanding, and here is Topstep X. It will become available for everybody. I do not know the exact date because the exact date hasn't been released. On TopstepTV, MP loves to give little breadcrumbs and tell traders as pretty much everything. Essentially, it's coming sooner than later. Like I said, Topstep X is very, very new. And it's like a slow rollout, right? We're giving it to traders slowly and slowly and slowly, and then a big public release. Is Topstep available for non-US citizens? We have traders from around the world. And I guarantee you there's a lot of you guys here, guys and girls here, who are from around the world. So yeah, we do have traders from around the world. Even some of the traders I talk to consistently in our Topstep Discord is like from Australia. We have some, there's one from Canada, lots of them. Salmon, if you trade 10 accounts, if you traded 10 accounts, Dakota, 3 contracts, you'd have made, yeah, you could do the math. If you trade X amount of accounts, you would make X amount of money. Dakota, not having the lockout button is killing me. Use the lockout button as your power cord on your computer. I'm the same. I don't have the lockout button on this platform, and sometimes it's hard. I just have to turn my computer off. Columbia, can you suggest free one-on-one coaching for traders? Free coaching is pretty much what you're getting right now. You could join us on TopstepTV. You could join us in Discord. It's not really one-on-one. It's just free coaches, right? I don't charge anybody for that. I want to help traders. And I know all the coaches here that I talk to our goal is to help traders become funded and to make money and be consistent. And it's the same with the daytime show on Topstep TV is everything that is designed is to help traders, whether it's education to pass the time during the trading day so you don't get FOMO, or to ask questions and that's what this class was designed for, right? What's your common time frame in price action? Mike, it depends. If I'm trading my slow markets class like you guys see me tonight, I look at the 60-minute and then I'll zoom into a 5-minute. If I'm trading during the New York session, I look at the 5-minute and I have a 100-tick chart. Used to consider a CL long. Yes, I do consider a crude oil long, but I want it to pull back and I would rather take a long, into the 82s. I'm not going to long CL right here. I'm going to wait for a pullback. NKD is ridiculous. Yeah, NKD is not for the faint of heart. It's not the market for new traders, but it's a market that I cover and it's a market I like and I have traded. Sam, I am not married. This coaching is free. Yeah, this coaching is free. I don't know who AI Brooks is. AI Books. When it will be 1 minis equals 10 micros on Topstep. I believe that's on Topstep X now. They just announced it today. If my memory serves me well. All right, guys, I'm past time. I feel like tonight was a good one. Al Brooks. No, I don't know Albert Brooks. I have not heard of him. So anyway, I've ran out of time. I told you a 1-hour class. I'm going to start losing my voice here. Thank you, Rips. Rips is in the house. Yeah, Rips my trading buddy, guys. He really is. You'd be surprised how much me and him just message back and forth. And I vent to him and he vents to me. I vented to, and Rips, you could confirm this. I vented to you because I lost that $30,000 and I was pretty dang frustrated. It was embarrassing. And it's a drawdown. And then it's like, man, how do I go back to trading? And that's the reality. I'm like, well, everybody goes through drawdowns. You can never always be at your high watermark. As much as I want to continue to be at my high watermark, that's not how it is. You guys seen my account balance every single day on advertised in front of you guys on Topstep TV Leaderboard. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. It does not stay at the top. So that's it. Mark Reyes, join me on my slow markets. You'll get to see my thing. No, $30,000 is not pocket change. Trust me, it's not. I trade to pay the bills. Good night, everybody, and take care. I am going to be on Topstep TV tomorrow during Power Hour. So